You probably know Dave Ramsey as the money guru, the debt slayer, the man with a plan. But what if I told you that at just 28 years old, Dave Ramsey lost it all? Yes, the man who now teaches millions how to build wealth once made a mistake so big it nearly destroyed him. In this video, you'll hear how Dave Ramsey's biggest mistake at 28 almost cost him millions, how he clawed his way back, and the brutal lessons he learned along the way. Stick around till the end, because one mindset shift he made might just save your financial life too. Dave Ramsey was born in 1960 in Antioch, Tennessee, into a working-class family. His parents, real estate developers themselves, instilled in him a strong work ethic. At just 12 years old, Dave asked his dad for money to buy an IC. His father told him, "You need a job." That single sentence set him on a lifelong journey. Dave started mowing lawns and cutting grass in the Tennessee heat. He learned that money wasn't given, it was earned. By the time he reached high school, Dave wasn't just mowing lawns. He had turned it into a small business. He hired his friends to help him with landscaping and was already learning about entrepreneurship. He discovered that leadership and responsibility were just as important as earning money. When he went to college at the University of Tennessee, Dave majored in finance and real estate, but he didn't just study theory, he worked hard. He spent 40 to 60 hours a week juggling jobs while attending classes. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't easy, but he was determined. In 1982, at just 22 years old, he graduated. That same year, he married Sharon, the love of his life. Together, they started their journey as a young couple, dreaming big, working hard, and determined to succeed. By the time Dave was 26, he was flying high. His real estate empire was booming. He owned over $4 million worth of rental properties. His personal net worth crossed the $1 million mark. He was earning more than $250,000 a year, which in the 1980s was the equivalent of over $500,000 today. He drove nice cars, took vacations, and lived in a beautiful home. To his friends and neighbors, he looked unstoppable. But here's the problem. Dave had built his empire on debt. He borrowed aggressively, taking on short-term loans to buy long-term assets. His philosophy was, leverage everything, grow faster, and keep expanding. It worked until it didn't. Banks started calling. Interest rates rose. One bank was sold to another, and suddenly his lenders weren't his friends anymore. They wanted their money back, and they wanted it now. Dave had just 90 days to come up with millions in cash, but he didn't have it. His properties weren't liquid. His wealth was trapped in real estate and a fee. And when he couldn't pay, the banks foreclosed. He lost properties, cash flow, and his financial foundation. On September 23, 1988, Dave and Sharon filed for bankruptcy. He was 28 years old. The man who had once been a millionaire was now broke. He later recalled how terrifying it was when creditors threatened to take his furniture, even his daughter's crib. He said, "I had met God on the way up, but I absolutely got to know him on the way down." Dave had hit rock bottom. He was depressed, angry, and ashamed. But this was the turning point. He realized that the problem wasn't just the banks. The problem was him, his decisions, his mindset, and his obsession with fast success. At his lowest, Dave leaned into faith. He studied the Bible. He prayed. He looked for guidance. And he started to see money in a different light. Not as a toy, not as a quick win, but as a tool that required wisdom and discipline. Step by step, he began rebuilding. First, he studied successful people. He devoured finance books. He interviewed wealthy families who had kept their money for generations, and what he found was shocking. The wealthy weren't using debt as leverage. They were avoiding it. They built wealth slowly, carefully, and with patience. That's when Dave created his philosophy of money. No debt, ever. If you can't pay cash, don't buy it. Build an emergency fund. Save for the future. Live below your means. As he rebuilt, Dave began helping others. He started small, just a few couples at his church who needed financial counseling. He taught them what he had learned the hard way. Debt is dangerous, budgeting is freedom, and wealth is about discipline. In 1992, he self-published his first book, Financial Peace. It wasn't a bestseller at first. He sold it out of the trunk of his car. But word spread. People were hungry for a different kind of financial advice. Not get rich quick, but build wealth slow. Soon after, he launched a radio show called The Money Game. At first, it aired on one small station in Nashville. Dave would sit in a studio, taking calls from everyday people drowning in debt. He gave them tough love and practical steps. He didn't sugarcoat. If you called Dave and asked whether to lease a car, he would tell you, "That's stupid. Don't do it." Listeners were shocked, but they kept coming back. The show exploded in popularity. It became The Dave Ramsey Show, reaching millions across America. He turned his advice into a system, the 7 baby steps. Step 1. Save $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. Step 2. Pay off all debt except the house, using the debt snowball. Step 3. Save 3 to 6 months of expenses. Step 4. Invest 15% of your income for retirement. Step 5. Save for your children's college fund. Step 6. Pay off your home early. Step 7. Build wealth and give generously. This system resonated with people because it was simple, clear, and based on real experience. Over time, Dave became more than just a radio host. He became a movement. His book, The Total Money Makeover, sold millions of copies worldwide. His company, Ramsey Solutions, grew into a financial education empire. He created Financial Peace University, a 9-lesson course that millions of families have taken. His net worth climbed back up to more than $55 million. But Dave's story isn't just about money, it's about resilience. At 28, he was broke. By 40, he was teaching millions. His failures became his greatest lessons. Now, not everyone agrees with Dave Ramsey. Critics argue that his no-debt philosophy is too extreme. Some say credit cards, used responsibly, can be beneficial. Others point out that his investment advice is too conservative. He has also faced lawsuits and controversy around his company culture. But even his harshest critics admit one thing: Dave Ramsey practices what he preaches. He lives debt-free, invests wisely, and gives generously. So what can we learn from his life? Let's break down the lessons. 1. Don't build wealth on debt. Easy money leads to hard lessons. 2. Character matters more than strategies. Your habits will make or break you. 3. Always build margin and reserves. Life is unpredictable. Plan for it. 4. Admit your mistakes and learn from them. Pride destroys wealth. Humility rebuilds it. 5. Wealth is built slowly, not overnight. It's a crockpot, not a microwave. 6. Generosity is part of true success. Money is a tool to bless others, not just yourself. Dave Ramsey's story is proof that failure isn't final. At 28, he thought his life was over, but through humility, faith, and persistence, he turned it all around. And today, he's not just wealthy, he's helped millions of others find financial peace. Dave Ramsey's story is a reminder: your biggest failure can become your biggest lesson. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.